Where is Balake at?
My name's Blake.
Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Ron.
Aaron is here. Welcome back, everyone, for more SPTV, where every day's a great day not to be in a cult. All right, let's get down to business, you guys. Let's get down to business. In the SPTV verse, there has been a lot of videos lately about Tommy Scoville, mainly because Tommy Scoville and Relatable Reese have broken up and gone their separate ways. In the video where Reese announced all of this, she played some audio recordings that she had made of Tommy, where Tommy was basically admitting to scamming women on YouTube and using them for money, and pretty disturbing stuff, really. I never said anything about why I stopped doing videos with Tommy. It's been over a year since I decided to stop doing videos with Tommy. I checked my videos just for any videos I did with the name Scoville in the title. Based on that search, it's actually been 17 months since I've done videos with Tommy, but it's possible that I'm missing one that was more recent. But there was a very specific reason. And by the way, I'm going to share with you guys the voice memos that Tommy had sent me back at that time. That was the reason I stopped doing videos with Tommy. These are not recorded phone calls. I do not record people's phone calls. I'm not sure I've ever recorded a phone call in my life. And these are actual voice memos. So, when you're texting someone, you can text them, you can do voice to text, or you can do voice memo, where you're basically recording yourself, almost leaving them a voicemail and then texting it to the person. I actually really like doing voice memos sometimes because so much can be lost. So much of the meaning and the emphasis of what you're trying to say to someone can be lost in text. And I think voice memos are actually a really cool thing to do. The problem, and me going over the voice memos that I have, so what Tommy will do is he'll send you text messages and then voice memos and then text messages and then voice memos. So for that reason, I'm going to share with you everything I had from Tommy that led to me just basically kind of ghosting him, just kind of cutting him out of my world. We never actually had a fight. We never actually had an argument. Anything that even came close to that certainly wasn't done on the telephone. It was just done over Tommy's text messages and voicemails. And going through everything that I have compared to what Reese recorded and compared to the voice memos that Tommy sent to a bunch of women in this community, what I have is downright tame. But part of the explanation for that is even what Tommy admitted to Reese in her recording of Tommy, which is he goes after women because women will not respond with anger, violence, revenge, according to Tommy, which is news to me. This has not been my experience, that women will just feel so embarrassed and ashamed that they've been conned or tricked or hurt that they'll just go away instead of trying to destroy you. And so it's not a surprise really that what Tommy sent me compared to what he sent to many women in the community is downright tame. But I figured I would share it with you guys because the truth is there's a very specific reason why I stopped doing videos with Tommy. And it was because of his temper. And it was because of his crossing boundaries, crossing lines. Like me and Tommy knew each other socially. Like I think when I can't remember if it was one time or two times that when I was in LA, Tommy was there. Like we hung out. Like I would have considered Tommy a friend the way I consider anyone a friend, even though I don't know them well, is we're friendly. We're doing a similar thing. We do videos together. We help each other. I helped him grow his channel. He helped me do content about what it was like in prison. And that's when I started doing videos with Tommy back in the day, is I was doing the Danny Masterson trial stuff. And Tommy emailed me and he's like, hey, I got a channel. I was in prison for 10 years, robbing banks. Happy to talk to you about the prison system. And the truth is Tommy's really good on camera. He's really good on camera. He's really quick. And he's also really, really, really good at complimenting the hell out of people. I guess the phrase people use is love bomb. I actually hate that word for some reason, so I don't use that phrase. But I do think it fits. Tommy is really, really good at love bombing. And it is true that Tommy is partly why I also stopped doing videos with Reese, although Reese is also why I stopped doing videos with Reese. We'll get into that a little bit. But Reese and Tommy is why I stopped doing videos with Tommy and Reese. And okay, so again, I just feel the need to emphasize this. What I'm going to share with you, you're going to be like, what's the big deal? Compared to the other stuff that you guys have seen on Reese's channel and Marilyn's channel and some other channels, this is going to be relatively tame. I just want you to know what it was for me at the time that just put it over the edge, because realize when I said we were just social friends, like I couldn't imagine calling up someone who our relationship is really just, I've been on their channel a bunch of times and scolding them and reprimanding them for what I thought about their latest video, or telling someone none of your friends have the balls to be honest with you, but I do, because I love you and I care so much about you that I'm going to tell you the hard truths that none of your friends have the balls to tell you. They're all afraid of you. None of your friends will tell you the truth. So they come to me because they think I'm an alpha male. I'm like, bitch, you don't know my friends. Get the fuck out of here. You think my friends are going to Tommy Scoville? Now realize that when Tommy would say things like this to me, I realized he's talking about Reese. I mean, he's talking about Reese, like my friends, like how many of my friends are talking to Tommy Scoville about me? Let me make a note here, something I don't want to forget. Okay. All right, let's see. Where does this saga begin? Okay. Well, I guess here's just a screenshot. And you can see this is January 25th, 2024. So that's 14 months ago. Now, so this is Tommy texting me 14 months ago, but I think we already had not done videos together in a while before this. And you can see voice recording, voice recording, voice recording, voice recording, and then some texts. So let's jump right to those 4 voice recordings back to back. Okay. I'm going to share it this way. I'm going to share it this way. Volume up. We'll use this right here. All right. Let's see what we got.
Aaron, hey, Tommy, I don't know if you're going to listen to this. If you do,
says, I don't know if you're going to listen to this. It's a fucking voice memo, Tommy. You texted it to me. Well, I mean, what choice do I have? Also realize this was 1 week after I got arrested in Los Angeles for protesting outside the Scientology Test Center and getting assaulted by that Scientology agent, Patrick Perry. Realize in these videos, in these recordings, you're going to hear Tommy refer to auditing, First Amendment auditing. It's a genre of videos on YouTube. And just realize he's conflating First Amendment auditing with protesting Scientology live streaming on YouTube. These are not the same things, but I just want to clarify that.
The Zero Dark Tony thing.
Oh,
60,000 views.
Oh, my bad. My bad. He was responding also to a video that I did calling out Zero Dark Tony. Okay. And Tommy is furious because he thinks that me doing a video calling out Zero Dark Tony got Tony 50 to 60,000 views. And I'm going to show you that this isn't true, but this is also what Tommy's calling me about. You're so stupid for doing a video about Zero Dark Tony. You're giving him exactly what he wants. You're driving people to his channel. That's the context here.
Aaron, hey, Tommy, I don't know if you're going to listen to this. If you do, the Zero Dark Tony thing, 60,000 views is what your deal got him in 2 days. For real, you got him 28,000 views day 1 and 52,000 views day 2. That's what happened the 2 days after you put that thing up. So when I said to you, I'm not being an ass, but when I said to you, you're putting this dude on the map, I promise you, bro, you're putting him on the map, right? He did 600 views the day before. May not mean anything, Aaron. You're making a shitload of money. Life is good for you. You're making a shitload of money. That's 20% of the views that dude's done in his life. That's a kick in the ass. Seriously, you want to help a guy get rolling? That's helping a guy get rolling.
Now, guys, like I said, this is tame. I mean, this is super tame. Like, all he's doing is telling you he thinks you're making a mistake. But you have to understand, me and Tommy didn't know each other like that. I don't give a shit if Tommy Scoville thinks it's a mistake for me to do a video about Zero Dark Tony. We were not friends like that. You know what I mean? Like, if Jenna or if Natalie or even Marilyn was gonna like call me up and be like, "Are you sure about this?" I'd be like, "Yeah, we're friends like that." Me and Tommy weren't friends like that. This is coming out of completely nowhere.
Don't put his face up, man. Seriously, don't do anything to help this dude. I know you're rich, bro. He's not. You just gave that dude no shit $5,000 for a guy that's hurting and not doing real well. $5,000 is a real shot.
Guys, he just said that I got Tony 50,000 views. First of all, I'm going to show you how that's not true. But then he said you just made him $5,000. Guys, on YouTube, you make approximately $6 per 1,000 views. Depending on the quality of the ads that YouTube is showing, maybe sometimes that can go as high as 10, sometimes even 15. But on average, in my experience, it's $6. So if I got Zero Dark Tony 50,000 views, which I didn't, that would be $300, not $5,000. And also, pretty sure Zero Dark Tony's channel isn't even monetized, so it doesn't matter how many views you give him. He's not making ad revenue off of it anyway. So in my mind, I'm going, okay, so this guy's crossing personal boundaries by calling me up to give me unsolicited, unwanted, inappropriate advice about my channel. And he's also 100% wrong about everything that he's saying. Not only did I not get Zero Dark Tony 50,000 views, but even if I did, it sure as hell wouldn't be $5,000 of revenue.
It's not to you, but it's a huge amount of money to a white guy not making it on YouTube. That's the most success he ever had, and it's because you put his face up. Look, I know you don't want to hear it. You don't like hearing things. I know you don't.
Do you see this low-key, backhanded fucking insults while he's claiming to like be there for me and want to help me? It's like, I know you don't like to hear things. What? Like every of one of my friends in my life know that they can call me and give me a negative opinion about something they think of me or what I'm doing. Like Marilyn knows that better than anybody. So, but like for this guy who doesn't know me like that to call me and pretend to care about me more than anybody and then also insult me. And when I hear things like this, I'm like, oh, okay, there's something going on here. This guy's a guy who works people. This is a guy who's used to playing on emotions. This is a guy who likes to push and pull. It's that emotional push and pull, love bomb, neg. I've seen people like this. And as soon as I started getting these voice memos, I was like, okay, I think I'm done with Tommy Scoville.
But you're making a mistake. And I'll tell you something else. Go look at the comments on my last video because there's 300 of them of people saying, I can't stand watching what he's doing.
Yeah, so don't pay attention to my own comments on my own channel. By the way, I don't know if you guys know this. On YouTube, your audience on YouTube, they generally tell you what they think of you or your content or your videos. So don't look at the comments on your own channel. Go to my channel. Go to Tommy Scoville's channel and go see what people on his channel are saying about me. The thing is, what people in his channel are saying about me is a reflection of what he's saying about me. Anyway.
Think about what you're doing, bro. You worked with Jordan Peterson. You were at the top of the food chain, and now you're an auditor.
And now you're an auditor. Okay, Tommy Scoville clearly hates First Amendment auditors for some reason. What you're going to be surprised to hear is he also hates people who give police a hard time. That is not the take I would have expected from a felon, but you're going to see in the next recording, he is furious that we were embarrassing some rank and file LAPD officers who showed up to basically harass Scientology protesters on L. Ron Hubbard Way. Okay, so let's go to the first time stamp. Well, it's basically, I just have all the memos in one recording here, so.
I truthfully believe this is the last time you and I are ever going to talk. Seriously.
These like, it's like, oh my God, like, when I first got these voice recordings, I was like, he's got to be on drugs. Like, no one talks like this. No one puts on the fucking drama show like this. This has got to be drug related. And to be honest, I don't know if it was not. I mean, at this time, I remember there was a lot of brouhaha about whether Tommy's sober or not. And I'm like, I didn't realize Tommy claimed to be sober. He doesn't actually, even in the videos we did together. He never claimed to be sober. He's against abuse, not use. And so there was all this weird drama circulating behind the scenes as to whether Tommy was sober or not. Actually, people were mentioning it in videos. And I'm like, well, first of all, I already know he's not. But also he never claimed to be. So that was a weird place to be. And I didn't know whether to, announce it from the rooftops that Tommy's not a sober person. But he sort of runs a recovery channel. And most people in recovery would say, well, sober means sober, But then I saw, when I listened to the recordings that Reese made of him, and then I listened to some of the other recordings like that like Hef and Marilyn had, I was like, oh, Tommy does this shit to everybody. It's not just me. In fact, he does it to everybody else like 10 times worse than me, because it seems like everyone else Tommy has done this to in the community is women. And it seems like I'm the only man he ever sent this kind of stuff to. And this is what it is.
I don't think you're going to talk to me again after this, because I'm going to tell you what I think. But I'm doing this because I'm a friend of yours who loves you. But what you're doing, I can literally show you the emails of people who send me emails going, what is he doing? He's talking like he's 12 years old.
Oh, he's talking about when I came back from LA after being arrested, I did a series of videos about Scientology agent, LAPD officer Timmy Tallman. And I think I put on my Danny Masterson prison costume. And I think I was calling Timmy, it's a little joke from South Park, Timmy, Officer Timmy. God forbid we have a little bit of fun here on this channel and incorporate a little bit of comedy and pop culture. But according to Tommy, that was just disgusting. And for some reason, crossed the line of professionalism.
Seriously, he's acting like a teenager going, Timmy, and what up, brah? And doing things that people don't think is you. Do you understand? You were fighting this thing as classy as anybody on planet Earth. The people who watch auditing, your new crowd, are the scum of the earth. Not yet. It's going to take about 2 months. But I don't know how much time you've spent around auditors, but the people who watch auditing are the trolls of the internet. The guys that watch auditing don't care about Scientology. They want to see a car crash and a gas fire.
I've watched a lot of First Amendment auditor videos, and I'm a big fucking fan of them. There's channels that do it wrong, in my opinion, and there's channels that do it right. Meaning when I say wrong, there's channels that seem that their goal is to provoke and escalate conflict. And then there's channels that seem to actually exist for the purpose of, auditing whether law enforcement officials understand the First Amendment. And it's purely subjective in opinion, whether someone thinks it's right or wrong. There's channels that I like, and there's channels that I just feel just a little too much for me. But I am part of the audience of the First Amendment auditor channels. And I don't quite understand Tommy talking about how horrible the audience is. Like, who gives a shit? Is someone watching your video or are they not watching your video? If you watch my videos, I do not care who you are, where you came from, what your history is, what you think about police, what you think about anything. I'm here to do Scientology videos. You know what I'm saying? Like, and also, protesting Scientology is not First Amendment auditing. Now, there are people from the First Amendment auditor community who have also crossed over and done Scientology protest videos. That does not, I think even one of the guys who comes out as part of the Clearwater crew is a First Amendment auditor. His channel is Eyes on the State. Now, Eyes on the State is a little more aggressive and confrontational than I would, like him to be, but that's not my business. And he's a fantastic protester. Do you see what I mean? So it's like, there's still, it's still a happy marriage. So it's almost like, I couldn't imagine being so worked up about the quality of the audience of First Amendment auditors, but also conflating it with protesting Scientology.
And you know what you guys are doing? You're damaging the reputation of the people who are fighting Scientology. And up until this point, the whole world thought you were great. Now people are saying, I don't care what they're fighting. You don't go out and dox cops. Those cops that you guys doxed on day 2, those are just 4 rank and file shitheads trying to make a living, Aaron.
Oh my God, let's have sympathy for the LAPD cops who show up to harass Scientology protesters because they're just cops doing their job. What? And by the way, it's not doxing them. I don't know. I guess it turns out that what is or is not doxing is also somewhat subjective. They are public servants. They are showing up. Yes, they're doing a job. Yes, they're doing a job. That's not mutually exclusive with helping Scientology abuse the system and abuse protesters. This was a weird one for me. Once he started being like, how dare you dox the cops? I was like, oh, and by the way, doxing the cops means in real time, asking them for their name and their badge number, looking up the database on the internet where you can look up police by their name and their badge number, and it gives their name and it gives their salary. Is that doxing? That's not doxing. It's it's part of being a public servant is that information is publicly available. We weren't giving out home addresses. We weren't giving out phone numbers. We were reading the information that's publicly available about police officers. We weren't looking up information in private databases. We were literally doing it in real time on a live stream in front of the cops. The cops are standing right there. Name and badge number. Boop, 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 boop. Punch it into Google. Okay. Name, years on the force, amount of salary last year, and amount of overtime. Okay, good. Name and badge number. Like the cops knew what we were doing as well. So anyhow, a very weird take in my opinion. And also, you don't know me like that, bitch. Like, don't, I don't need your opinion about what you thought of my last video. You don't know me like that.
No one else is going to tell you this, but everybody is sick about it. Go read my comments. People are bummed out at what you're doing. I love you, which is why we're having this conversation. I know you're not going to talk to me again, Aaron. This is who you are.
This is who you are. I love you. Let me insult you. I love you. Let me insult you. I think you're the best. Let me insult you. Now, you might think, well, Aaron, you must have put up with this from him before. Otherwise, why would he think this is okay to do? No, this is why this was a deal breaker. I was like, are you fucking high? Like, are you on that? Like, he sent this to me early in the morning. Remember, Tommy's like 2 or 3 hours ahead of me. This was at like 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, have you been up all night? You know, like doing stuff, and this is what you thought. Like, this is basically your version of drunk dialing me. You know, like, let me show Aaron some of that tough love. It's like I was like, yeah, I think we're not gonna have anything to do with each other. But I also didn't really know what to do about it because I didn't, you know, up until I'm trying to think. Tommy's only the second person that has been involved in my life in any way who I know has, you know, been involved in the addiction space or has himself been an addict at some point. There's only one other person that's ever been in my life who was an addict. And I learned very much the hard way. You cannot reason with or rationalize with an addict. And by the way, I'm not even saying Tommy's an addict right now. I have no reason to believe that he is. I know he uses, but I'm not even saying that in a judgmental way. I don't give a shit. I have no reason to believe Tommy is an actual addict. But when I started getting these unhinged voice memos from him, it did sort of trigger me into the other person who has in the past been in my life, who I was like, oh, you cannot ever manage relationships with people like this. And so I was just like literally as I'm getting these voice memos, I'm like, well, I guess that's the end of me and Tommy Scoville. And I'm going to politely exit stage left, but without even saying I'm exiting stage left, because relationships like this are just unbelievably explosive and unpredictable. And that's what was going through my mind as I'm listening to these voice memos, you know, early on a Saturday or whatever the hell it was.
Seriously, reputation you got among every one of your friends said to me, don't tell him this. He's never going to speak to you again. You ain't doing anything together with him again. This is the end of your career with Aaron.
Yeah. So he's basically like, all of your friends think you're a piece of shit, but they tell me. It's like, it's so manipulative. It's so manipulative. And there's not even, I didn't even for one second think that it was true. I'm not someone who like gets all spun in and paranoid and insecure about it. It's not like he created the desired effect. It's not like I was like, oh my God, what if all my friends are afraid to talk to me, but instead they talk to Tommy Scoville? I was like, no, this is pure fucking manipulation and it doesn't work on me.
I said, well, you guys are fucking scumbags then, because I'm a friend of his. So I would rather end our friendship by telling you that what you're doing right now is really making a bunch of people unhappy. Your fans are unhappy.
So not only is he insulting me, but now he's insulting all of my friends because they're fucking scumbags for not having the balls to tell me what they really think about me. But that's why Tommy's such a good guy, because he'll do what no one else cares enough about me to do. All right, let's see. Was that the second or the third? Come on now.
I love you, man. So if this is our last time talking, I love you, man. I love what you're doing. I love the fact that you were bringing these people down, and I didn't love you because you could help me. For real. If you never make another video for me ever again, if I never get one view, I liked you because of who you were. But I'm telling you, what you're doing right now is damaging your brand massively, and you don't see it. You don't see it because you see views, but you're hurting your brand. You're trading out an audience group who hated Scientology and loved you for an audience that wants to see you get arrested and beat up, because that's what the audience who watches auditing wants. They want to see you get beat up. They want to see you get arrested. They want to see a car crash and a gas fire.
You could say that about any audience anywhere. The drama and the bullshit usually gets more views than more productive stuff. I mean, it's just a weird thing. Like, you're going after the wrong audience. I'm not going after any audience. I'm here doing what I want to do on my channel. After Streets created the Scientology live protest movement, I decided that was something that was really worth supporting. You guys know, even though Streets created the movement, I'm the one that actually helped promote all the protester channels. And then I realized I was probably too much of a pussy to go out there and do it myself, which is why I definitely needed to go out there and do it myself. And that's when I started going out to downtown Clearwater, started joining other people who were out there doing it. And so, oh yeah, my point is I have decided and chosen that doing the Scientology protesting is very fun, very helpful, a good thing to do. And that's why I do it. It's not because I'm going after an audience. And the truth is, you're always going to get churn in your audience. The truth is, when I started doing the Scientology protesting videos, there was a lot of people in my audience who didn't like it. Guess what? I don't give a shit. Choose what you want to watch and don't watch. I'm here to do me. That's what this channel is about. But you see, Tommy's all about the audience, the audience, the audience. I go, I don't know, Tommy, maybe that's the problem. Maybe you're just saying what you think the audience wants to hear instead of just being genuinely you. But that's not what I do on my channel. My channel is about being genuinely me.
They have no interest whatsoever in your cause. And you're bumming out so much of your audience, and none of them have one ball sack because there ain't an alpha male in the entire crew So I get everybody talking to me because they know I'm a friggin' alpha male. So I'm telling you right now, what you're doing is pissing off the mass majority of your audience, and they don't have the ball sack to tell you.
How the fuck does Tommy Scoville know what the mass majority of my audience thinks about anything? My audience lets me know what they think in the comments section. They're not like, God damn it, I've got to give Tommy this message because he's the only one Aaron will listen to.
So go look at other people's channels where people leave comments and see what people are talking about. How this movement is going to the dogs. How you're talking like you're 12 years old and looking like you're in a fraternity house. Read the comments. I can defend you for a certain period of time, and then I just look like a jackass.
Oh, thank you, Tommy. Are you going to defend me, Tommy? Thank you.
I love you, bro. I don't think you're making a good decision, and I'll leave it at that. Read the comments. They won't happen on your channel, right? Because people kiss your ass. They're sycophants. Go over and read other people's comments on channels that used to praise you every day. Go read the comments. I'm doing this out of love, Aaron. You can never talk to me again. I have no problem with that because I'm a friend. Friends aren't sycophants. Friends tell people when they're not doing the right thing, and you're hurting your brand. Bad. You interviewed with Jordan Peterson.
For some reason, that voice memo cuts off, but then he picks up right here.
The top of the food chain for what we do is what? Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan, right? Lex Friedman, Andrew Gold, you. And you know what you're doing? Becoming an auditor. You worked with the best. People are putting you into the category of top guests in the world. Thinkers, right? You're in there with the thinkers doing serious damage to the Church of Scientology. Now
I think big thoughts. I have big ideas. I'm part of the intellectual elite. I'm just here to talk about Scientology, bro.
you guys are out there doxing cops who make $30,000 a year who have nothing to do with anything that's happening. Sure, that asshole that showed up and arrested you should be doxed. But the 4 guys that you guys doxed the next day, this dude makes 30 grand. His name is such and such. That guy's, he's a first-year cop. He doesn't even know why he's out there. But it's offended thousands of people. You don't think it's going to make a difference. So I'm here to tell you right now so that I will not be the sycophant on the record that high-fives you. What you're doing right now is damaging your brand massively, and you're not going to notice it for a long time. Because the people who show up to watch are going to drown out the people that used to be your fans. But the people who are showing up to watch are auditors. Study auditors and see what they do to channels. Auditors, the people that watch auditing are the scum of the earth, my brother. The scum of the earth. Not the people doing it, but their audience. They're trolls. They're people that study this. Look at it, right? Pay attention to it and look at what you're getting into because you are popular and loved and you're not going to be in 6 weeks. You want to? I can give you a list of people who've done what you've done. If you want to hear it, call me. If you don't, I understand. Best of luck. I'm doing this because I love you. All right? You're fucking up. Have a great day. I love you.
It's like, that was the part where it's like, you don't fucking know me like that. Like, it doesn't matter if you have a problem with my videos. You don't know me well enough to call me and be like, you're fucking up. You're ruining your brand. What is it to you? If I'm fucking up, I'm ruining my brand. That's sort of my business. Like, you'd think, anyway, I sort of explained it. Okay. So what I wanted to show you guys was, I guess I'll use this view. So the 4 voice memos that I just played for you is the first voice, these 4 voice memos that you can see right here. Let me see. Can I actually zoom in on this? God damn it. Oh, I can. Look at that. Okay. Uh-oh. Hey, Streets, good to see you. Yeah. Calling yourself an alpha male is definitely beta male activity for show. Okay, let me go to this view. So I don't know if you can read this with your own eyes, but it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna read it out loud. So after those 4 voice memos, he says, on my channel, I will say that I love you and that you are the king. You are killing your brand. It will not hurt your check. It is making the movement look like the bad guys. People thinking the protesters are cruel. Read what is written outside your platform. Okay, and then he sends me another voice memo. For some reason, that's kind of what he does. He sends some text messages, then he sends a voice memo, and here's the next voice memo. Oh,
You say.
Sorry. Here it is.
And finally, I love you, brother. Anything you say about what happened to you, you're going to see in court. And you don't have to hear the entire thing. They're going to pull out something where they just hear you go, Timmy, we're going to rule Timmy's career. And you're going to look like someone that set out to do this, right? I have been in court 1,000 times. With all due respect, you haven't. I've sued the police. It's not going to work if you give them a reason to think that what you're doing is malicious and not because they were going after you. Now what you're doing is creating content that they're going to show in court. So if you're not planning on suing them, keep doing what you're doing. And I know you're going to hate this advice, but you're talking to a convict and a criminal. And what you're doing is destroying any case you have. Everything you say, dude, there's now hundreds of hours of you looking like you hate him personally.
Hundreds of hours. I mean, did I do 2 videos? We're talking 3 or 4 hours. Did I make fun of Timmy's name for like 5 minutes? Timmy, it's funny as hell. And if you're going to sue the LAPD for false arrest and violating your civil rights, I'm not entirely sure they care about whether you made fun of the officer afterwards or not. That's just me. What do I know, guys? I grew up in a cult.
It has to look like he went after you and you got nothing. You're just a guy that was offended by the cops. I was just out there protesting. I was doing the right thing. Now you look like a guy who's having a real good time destroying this dude's life. Man, oh man, do you understand what this is going to do in court? You got a bulletproof lawsuit and the judge is going to go, yeah, no. I'm telling you, I've been down this road 1,000 times. Talk to your lawyer friends. They're not criminals, right? The guy that walks into court as the person who looks bad, that's me my entire life. And I look bad because of things I said that have been recorded that I listened to in court. Just stop talking about it. Don't talk about him. Show images of what happened or whatever. But right now, you're building a case against yourself. They're looking at every 2 seconds. They're going to take 8 seconds of everything you said and make you look bad. Stop talking about it. I know you're not going to listen to it. You're going to hate me. Stop talking about your freaking case.
All right. And the thing is, that may have been fine advice. If you want to get me on the phone and be like, hey, just so you know, it might not be a good idea. You know, are you sure you really want to do it? I think you should talk to some lawyers. That might be good advice. But to send me a bunch of unsolicited voice memos, insulting me, insulting my friends and all this stuff, that's why I was like, yeah, I think I'm done. Okay, so back to this view. So then let's do a different view. I guess this view. Okay, so then he sends me that voice memo. And then he goes, stop talking about Timmy. You're killing your case. In public, I'll say nothing. Like all of your quote unquote friends. You are being fucked for views. People telling you what you want to hear for views. You're going to kill your lawsuit, period. And you're hurting your brand. I may be the only fucker who cares about you. Everyone you know reached out to me. What? Everyone you know reached out to me because they got no balls to tell you. So you're shitting on me. You're shitting on my friends. They don't give a shit about me. They talk shit about me to you. You're the only one who cares. And this is what he's sending to a man, guys. I mean, if you want to see what he sends to women, you can go to Reese's channel. You can go to Marilyn's channel for that kind of stuff. So then he sends me another voice memo and share this tab. Let's listen to the voice memo.
On the planet.
Oh, okay.
Go over and watch the biggest auditor channels on the planet. And I don't mean streets. I'm talking about auditors. And what you're going to find out is this. Their crowds don't spend any money. And I don't just mean they don't donate money. I mean, in the scheme of YouTube, they're not people that spend money.
What the fuck does that spend money? Like, this is the problem with channels that seem to rely mostly on super chats. They think YouTube is here to collect money from your live audience through super chats. Guys, I am here to do videos that as many people see as possible. My money on YouTube comes from ad revenue. Even at the height of the super chat waterfall, when I could come on here and just do a live Q&A and get nothing but super chats for 2 hours. Even at the height, super chats were never more than 8% of my YouTube revenue. Now it's much closer to 5 or 6%. Like, spending money on YouTube is not a thing someone should think about their audience. It doesn't even make sense.
They're the lowest echelon. And for that, it changes how much you get per view. So you could be getting 16 times more views, but what you're getting is people who don't give a crap about buying things. They want to watch a car crash and a gas fire.
Just so you know, guys, if you watch, if an ad on my channel pops up for you and you skip the ad, I get paid anyway. YouTube does not care whether people who watch ads on my channel buy things from those sponsors. That's not how it works. Even what he's talking about is not true.
They don't care about Scientology. They want to see a fist fight. They want to see you get arrested. Now, if that doesn't happen, they'll disappear. But they're also the biggest trolls, the biggest hecklers. They're so bad. An audience on YouTube thought about getting rid of it as a genre. The only one comparable are the audience that watches child molesters live get busted.
I love watching the videos where people ambush and bust child molesters live. Those are great videos. What is wrong with why are we shitting on people who watch First Amendment auditing and chomos getting busted in real time? That's fantastic. That's the peak. That's the height of YouTube, in my opinion.
Research it. I'm not making this stuff up, brother. You're switching from one audience to another. And you think that, oh, these are all people who hate Scientology. What you're getting is just an audience that likes auditing. They don't care what's being audited. They want to see the confrontation.
And this is where we continue to get the conflation between First Amendment auditing and Scientology protesting. They actually have nothing to do with each other.
If that's what you want to do with your audience worships you, and you're trading them out for people who are going to just want to see you get hurt. Read the comments on other people's sites of people who love you and think you're driving off a cliff. You're going to make whatever decision you make, but I will go on the record today to say that I said this because I might be the only ass that cares about you. You're going to cut me out of your life like a cancer. I know you are. So if this is the last time we talk, I really do care about you. As a person, I don't care if I ever got a view out of you. I really liked you.
By the way, the irony of saying if this is the last time we talk, when we literally weren't talking, for any of you just tuning in, this is not a recorded phone call. This is a voice memo, one of many voice memos that Tommy texted me. And this manipulative strategy of like negging someone or telling them the negative thing that, of course, they're going to respond in that way, but you're telling it like you're predicting it as if somehow it's bad if they naturally respond that way now because you've already predicted you're going to cut me out of your life. I know you. Your friends have told me about you. You know, he's hoping to be like, no, Tommy, no, I would never do that. But anyway, you'll see how I respond.
What you're doing is not going to help you, brother. And everybody around you is saying it, but they're saying it to me. You want emails? I'll let you read them. But apparently they think I'm the guy with the balls to talk to you.
Or the only one stupid enough. Okay, so then after that voice memo, he says, I care about you deeply. Good luck, dog. I hope the cash is massive. The word is that that's all you want. Not from me. Read comments other places. Your audience ain't loving this. Don't become a a-hole. That's a term I read 5 times yesterday in my chats. Dude, you were loved. Stop while you can. Please. I care more about you than all those who begged me to say this, but don't care enough to say it themselves. He's a goddamn martyr, you guys. He's got the weight of everyone's opinions on his shoulders. My God. And then he sent me another voice memo. Here it is.
By the way, this is how Convict Street Friends.
I don't know if you guys could hear that. This is how convicts treat friends.
In the real world, a friend will listen while everybody else talks shit but doesn't have the guts to say it to them. I'm not joking you. The number of your friends who said to me, I'm going to stop watching this. I just don't know how to tell them that. Your friends, right? Wrenches of yours.
Not only do my friends watch my videos, but my enemies watch my videos as well. Even Nora watches every minute of every one of my videos.
Who say, I can't watch this. Why is he doing it? Well, then tell him that. But see, no one has any balls to do that. But I do. I know that I'm coming across. Trust me when I tell you that I ought to be coming across as the only person who cares enough to say this. Don't take my word for it. Go to any of the platforms where people are discussing this and see how people go back and read your live chats and watch how many people typed in, I can't watch this, I'm leaving. I can't watch this, I'm leaving. May seem insignificant to you because the numbers are huge, but you're trading great people that love you for people that want to see a car crash. The audience is go watch nothing but auditors. Don't go see Street. Street has your audience currently. Watch auditors because
he's talking about Streets LA.
The Scientology crowd is going to stop watching. I promise you they are. The novelty is going to wear off. And then what you're going to be left with is auditors. And the auditor people, they just want to see confrontation. They want to see confrontation. They want to see the cops show up. They want to see pepper spray. Almost every one of those videos ends up demonetized. Good God, it's a bad genre, brother. It's a bad genre. Go look at the successful, go look at the massively successful auditors. Should be real easy to find. I'm sorry, brother. I love you. You haven't done enough of it. Bail out while you got time. I'm saying this because I care. You don't believe that. I'm saying this because I care.
Yeah. By the way, a little bit of a contradiction of being like, go ahead and just go look at some of the big auditing channels. And you're like, yeah, there's some big fucking First Amendment auditor channels. They're like 1,000 times bigger than your channel. Who are you to say that their audience is shit? Like they have an audience. It's also got nothing to do with Scientology protesting. Okay, so let me see. So that was, I care about you more than all those. Okay, so then he goes, after that voice memo, he goes, last word, if you need me, I'm here for anything. I'll fight for you, literally. I'll back you any way I can. I love you, dog. I got your back. I'm telling you what the world is saying. Okay, so then I go, I appreciate the input and the perspective, and I'll try to onboard it the best way I can. My video about Zero Dark Tony was 8 days ago. Okay, so right away, I'm actually just responding to the very, very first thing that he said, which is, I told you it was a bad idea to do that Zero Dark Tony video. You got him 60,000 views in a day. And I sent him this. I sent him this screenshot right here. And I go, dude, I did not get Zero Dark Tony 50,000 views. I did, what did I say? I said I did the video 8 days ago. And I guess I circled January 16th. Look, this is a website called Social Blade. It gives you the stats of people's YouTube channels. And this is daily statistics. And this is the daily statistics of, I can't tell if I'm circling January 15th or January 16th. But no matter what, you can see on the day that I did a video about Zero Dark Tony, he either gained or lost 10 subscribers and he got 1,000 views. Or depending on which day you're looking at, he lost 300 views. Now, compare that to what Tommy is talking about, which is on January 23rd and January 24th, some weird thing happened where it looks like Tony got 30,000 views one day and then 50,000 views the next day. Now, I can already tell you, as soon as I got this message from Tommy, I was like, there's no fucking way ZDT got 50,000 views in a day. So I checked Social Blade and I saw that Social Blade made it look like he did. But then I actually went to ZDT's channel to try to look for the live stream of the video that got those views, or even a live stream. Nothing. There was nothing. Because unless only people who, I don't know, spend a lot of time looking at these numbers will know, if you put a video on private, like if you have a video that's publicly published and then you put it on private, Social Blade will delete those. That's why you'd be like, how can someone get negative views? Okay, so here you can see there's a couple days here where it shows negative views. That's because ZDT took one of his videos and made it private. When you make that video public again, it adds all of those views to whatever the most recent day is. So that's what I'm saying. Tommy doesn't even know what the numbers he's looking at mean. And he's still willing to send me these hateful messages about how much I fucked up. It's like, bro, you don't even know what these numbers mean. Okay. So. Okay. So then, yeah. So I send him that thing of like, my video was 8 days ago. He did not get these views. And then he sends me, you can see one more voice memo after that. So let's go back to the voice memos and let's see what Tommy said.
Hey, with all due respect, you're wrong. What you did, what do you think did that, man? Honestly, with all due respect, what do you think did that? I love you, brother. What do you think did that? You explain it to me.
Well, I just explained it to all of you. It's pretty fucking simple. When you make a video private, it deletes those views from your current day on Social Blade. A week later, if you make it public again, it adds all of the views back to whatever the current day is on Social Blade. You know, very rarely can a channel go from getting, I don't know, 200, 300 views per video to just randomly getting 50,000 views on a video. And you can find the evidence if that actually had occurred. Okay, so then let's see. He, let's go back to this view. So yeah, so he asked me that question. What do you think did it? What do you think did it? And then I say, I'll go down here. I say, I think it's a glitch, actually. Look at his past 20 videos and live streams. There's nothing that adds up to 80,000 views. Do you notice how sometimes his daily view count is negative? I think he probably took some videos off of private or something, and those views were added to the total. The dude definitely did not get 80,000 views in the last 2 days. Tommy responds by saying, Aaron, we are not friends. What? What? I mean, I'm like, what? Okay. We are not friends. That's cool. I'm not angry about it, nor do I have hurt feelings. I will call you my friend in public, and I will praise you on every video. I will not damage the fight. That's bad form. There's no need to respond to this, dog. I'm not looking to do debate or have you tell me I'm wrong. When the next bullshit storm happens, I will shoot a video in total support of you. I truly hate that cult, dog. Not for views. I really hate it. I've never tried to work you to put me in a video. And then I go, I don't really understand where all the drama is coming from or what it's all about, but as far as I'm concerned, we're friends. Okay. He goes, no drama. If ever I can hurt the cult, let me know. All right. So that was the end of the conversation on January 25th. Then he sends me some stuff on February 4th. You can see everything he sends me from here on out, I don't believe I've ever responded to. Okay. So let me see. Let me get my face up a little bit higher here. Okay. Let's fast forward to February 4th. He goes, today on my morning show, there was a person questioning if we were arguing. I said, of course not. And that you reached out to me via text after my relapse, that you were one of the first calls. This I thought was the smart play. By the way, you realize, guys, he's lying. Tommy and I never spoke. He never reached out to me. I never reached out to him. He was actually just lying to his audience, telling them a story that he thought would play well. And then afterwards wanted me to know that he had told that story just in case anybody asked me about it. Okay. So he goes, actually, I'll zoom in on this a little bit. Okay. I only mention it so that if it gets brought up, you'll be aware. I doubt it, but just in case. I got high on Valium and beer. I set out to get fucked up. I admitted it in a video. You texted that you were there for me and you showed concern, yada, yada. By the way, I doubt you even heard about my relapse. And if you did, you own nothing in the way of shit. I just like the image better the way I did it. I hope you're not bummed out. I was just avoiding drama. If this is at all confusing, call me and I'll explain in 60 seconds. Well, I had no interest in talking to him since this is all sort of a desperate play for attention. Fast forward to February 7th. He goes, there is a fairly credible source saying that Danny Masterson has a hit ordered by a gang. I did a video on it that got 25,000 views in 2 days. If you want to talk about it, 30 minutes of show, get a fucktard of views, let me know. Okay. This is the guy who's just insulting me for being about getting views. By the way, that's like insulting an author for being about selling books, or insulting a musician for being about selling records. It's like, if you do videos on YouTube, you should want to get as much views as possible. Like, that's just sort of so it's weird. It's a weird way to insult someone on YouTube. But then here he is being like, hey dude, I just got a bunch of fucking views. We can juice this shit. And on some, I'm not even saying that derogatorily. I'm all for wanting to do content that's going to get a ton of views, but you see how he likes to flip flop, push pull, compliment, neg. This is sort of how it works. You'll notice I didn't even respond. Okay. Oh, and then fast forward to February 10th. This was all part of the lie of when Reese was in town and Tommy was pretending like he just magically showed up on other business, and not because they had secretly planned it behind the scenes. So fast forward to February 10th. He goes, I am in Florida talking to an agent about selling my story and wasn't planning on seeing anyone. I'm about 45 minutes away. I'm going to do a quick hello and get out of Dodge. Short notice, yada, yada. I'll be gone in 30 minutes after doing the Unity thing. That was all total bullshit. They had pre-planned the entire trip to Clearwater together, lied to everybody about it, lied to me about it, kept everyone in the dark, put on this huge show, this huge charade, trying to trick everybody. And I was fooled by it. I didn't even find out until like a month later. And I was so pissed off that someone I considered a friend was willfully putting on a show to deceive me, that's why me and Reese stopped doing videos together. More on that in a little bit. Okay, so then there's this. Okay, February 7th. No, that was February 7th. February 10th. Okay, fast forward to February 17th. Now, what the context here is that I had started doing videos about the reports that were being made on other YouTube channels from other former convicts about the threats against Danny Masterson and an alleged attack on Danny Masterson. I did a lot of videos about those. They did get a lot of views, and I can only imagine that Tommy was just seething that I wasn't doing the videos with him. So let's see here. All right, let me get my face out of the way. Okay, Tommy goes, February 17th. Aaron, very happy to hear you are okay. I got the Danny Masterson facts. No more bullshit. Got a staffer inside his case. I'm doing this story today out of respect. If you want me to do it with you, let me know. I'm going to go live by noon my time. If not, I wish I knew you were on the shot. I got 30 people on, the shot. Oh, because I was taking Ozempic. I wish I knew you were on the shot. I got 30 people on that on the channel. It happens a lot. Be careful. Please take care either way. Oh, he sent me that twice by accident. You'll notice, guys, I'm not responding to him. Okay. So I wasn't looking to have conflict with him. I was just looking to be done. He goes, Danny 6 is a J-cat. I actually don't know what that means. I forget. No one attacked him. He got moved. Oh yeah. So he's basically texting me to tell me that the information I'm reporting in my videos is wrong. Okay. He got moved for a whole host of disgusting reasons. Not one of them was an attack. The truth is way better. I got a cop on the inside handling his case. These guys you are showing are fun and full of shit. I'll be reporting what really happened later on another channel at 7 tonight. I'm done with the Danny Masterson circus. If you're done with me, that's cool. If not, text me and I'll tell you the truth. Way better than the lies, believe it or not. And I didn't even respond to him there. Okay. So then, Then he sends me, I guess, what is probably the last audio recording. And let's see what that is.
Hey, I love you. Truth is, this guy's covered himself in shit. Danny's playing with his own poop, right? He went for a mental transfer. He didn't get attacked. This is a cop on the inside.
Oh, this is what Tommy is saying really happened to Danny Masterson, that he was having a mental breakdown and covered himself in his own shit. Now, which one do you think is more likely?
A free staff, not cop, but he's a employee of the prison system that is telling me this stuff. It's gonna, I promise you, when he gets attacked, I'm gonna know it. But these guys are just they're making huge paychecks off of this, but it's all BS. I'm telling you the truth. And if you ever want to have me on, 30 seconds notice, and we can play nice. And I think people will dig it. You'll probably get a lot of views. If not, I understand. What I told people was that I was in bed all day yesterday. I said, because people said, why didn't he call you? I said, he probably reached out. I was in bed all day yesterday. I am always going to do the, I love you. And it's going to stay that way forever, bro. I'm here. If you ever want to do a video, you know where I'm at. All right. God bless. And I hope you're feeling better, man. I really do. Be careful with that stuff. That Ozempic shit, man. Be careful.
Okay. I'm almost positive that is the very last of it. Okay. Now, so let me. So, by the way, this was the. Okay, I'll just show you the last of the text messages. So he sends me that voice memo, and I say, "I've watched your video a couple times now, and what you're saying isn't actually making any sense." And then he goes, "It's called Boy, Do I Regret That Last Danny Masterson video. I think it will tick all the boxes, probably in the next hour, depending on traffic." I have no idea what that means, and that was the last time Tommy Scoville and I had any text communication, voice memos, email communication, phone call of any sort. And you'll see, I was perfectly civil with him in this text discourse. I did not insult him. I did not say we're not friends. I did not say don't ever contact me again. And the last message he ever sent me was basically, "I love you, bro. I'm here for you. I'll do anything for you." So I was just happy to wash my hands of what is clearly a volatile, emotionally manipulative situation. But then fast forward. So Tommy and I stopped doing videos, and Reese and I stopped doing videos. Now, I can tell you all this now because Reese has already come clean about this on her channel. At the time, I had no idea that Reese and Tommy had for weeks been planning on meeting up with each other in Clearwater when Reese came down here to Clearwater. I just had no idea. It's not like I would have been like, "No, you mustn't do that." I just didn't know. So, and what happened when Reese and Tommy did come to Clearwater is there was just, well, first of all, I don't think I ran into Tommy because I think I had already gotten my food poisoning I think I got my food poisoning like 2 hours before Tommy showed up in downtown Clearwater. I was already home, either in the bed or in the bathroom, one or the other. But what I did is I had received a phone call from Reese after I got home saying like, "Oh my God, Aaron, did you know Tommy was coming?" And I was like, "Tommy Scoville?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Tommy just showed up." I'm like, "Okay." I'm also like, "I don't care. Like, what business is this of mine?" And they're like, "He's in town for a book deal and all this stuff." I'm like, "Okay." I'm basically crapping my brains out. I don't give a shit about any of this. A month later, when I found out that it was all an act, I was fucking furious. I wasn't. It wasn't the morality of the thing, because you're like, well, fierce about what? Okay, well, I mean, Reese was still married to Jeff, and they had orchestrated this whole, meetup here in Clearwater so they could sleep together. I'm the last person in the world who actually gives a shit about that. What I was pissed off about is that someone I thought was my friend took all these elaborate, sophisticated measures to proactively deceive me. That makes me go, "Oh, I thought you were my friend. Now I see you're not." And what happened was more and more people in the community started, because, people have loose lips. So Barbara Mangano and the other Barbara, SPTV Tattoo Warrior, were two people who were very much in on the deception. I mean, in fact, Barbara Mangano's house is where Tommy and Reese stayed together. And SPTV Tattoo Warrior Barb, she was in on the whole thing as well. Well, Barb and Barb have very loose fucking lips. So more and more people in the community started to find out that the whole thing with Tommy and Reese meeting up in Clearwater was a complete fucking lie and a charade. And some of the people who were finding that out were some of Reese's moderators. And then they would say something here, and then they would be called a liar. And so what happened is something that was completely not my business and had nothing to do with me ended up not being my business, but impacting my life, right? Because Reese was on the board of the SPTV Foundation, and I fiercely defend my friends. And even if someone who's on the board is someone I don't consider a friend anymore, they're still on my board until they're not on my board. And so what was happening is that SPTV Tattoo Warrior was one of Reese's moderators who had found out something went south. And what happened is people who knew and were keeping Reese's lies were then being ostracized from the community and were being called liars. Well, that's a problem, because now people who knew the truth were seeing these people who were telling the truth being called liars and being denigrated and ostracized. Now, At that time, SPTV Tattoo Warrior was one of my moderators. And she would, in this place, in that place, in this Facebook, in this group, in this forum, start attacking Reese and Tommy. And, and this was happening outside of my view. Like, I don't monitor these spaces. And so then Reese would contact me and say, Aaron, Barb's saying this and saying this. And then I would go to Barb and say, Barb, I'm not your boss. You're a grown woman. I'm a grown ass man. You can either be my moderator or you can attack Reese publicly, but you cannot do both. I said, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm drawing my boundary and you can decide what decision you want to make. I said, no one who's publicly affiliated with me is going to be publicly attacking one of my board members. And so I was basically the person holding SPTV Tattoo Warrior at bay from going pretty fucking hard in the paint on Reese and Tommy. Now, a lot of these people who were being called fucking liars were also friends of Marilyn Honig. And Marilyn Honig is a very good friend of mine. Now, Marilyn never put me in the position that SPTV Tattoo Warrior put me in, which is having to be like, yo, you got to make a choice. Marilyn did the opposite. She came to me and she said, I sure hope you know that the only reason I'm not out here publicly defending my friends who are being called liars by Reese, friends who deserve my support, is because out of respect for you and not trying to make your life complicated with your board and your foundation and these people. I'm like, well, I really fucking appreciate it. My life is complicated enough. Thank you for not putting me in that position. And so I guess I'm telling this story to give a little bit of context because I was pretty furious that someone else's lies to their audience was fucking up my life. And I was not able to say anything about it. Okay. And so then fast forward a little bit and Reese resigns from the SPTV Foundation. By the way, a lot of lies have been told about how and why that occurred. Reese resigns from the SPTV Foundation. Barb resigns as one of my moderators. She asks me to remove her, so she resigns. Well, all of a sudden, the very thing that was keeping Barb from attacking Reese is no longer a thing. Reese is no longer on the board. Barb is no longer one of my moderators. I no longer have any ability to keep Barb from saying anything about Reese. And there's no reason for Marilyn to keep her mouth shut anymore. And there's no reason for Marilyn's, well, I think Marilyn's friends were already not keeping their mouth shut. But then what happened? Reese publicly blames me for sending all of these people after her as so-called retaliation for her resigning from the board. Every single person who actually knew everything that was going on behind the scenes knew that was 100% horseshit. It was a total lie. It was a lie to her audience. It was a lie to the entire community. And then she hid behind Nora as the reason why she just connected the dots, because Nora told Reese that I was the one behind everyone, because Nora magically knows the truth about everything, even when the evidence is totally opposite. So there's a reason why I'm telling all of this, because Tommy is a problem, but he's not the whole problem. And a lot of damage has been done and apologies have not been made and things have not been set right. The last text message I ever sent to Reese was after she was accusing me of secretly being the puppeteer, pulling the strings, sending people after Reese. I said, Reese, it's a long text and I didn't even prepare to bring it up. You know what? How about this? I'm not going to bring it up because I'm just not prepared to do that, but I am going to read it. Okay. Because by the way, before this, the last phone call I actually had with Reese was me saying like, Reese, we haven't talked in a while. It's because of Tommy. Because we had previously had an argument about Tommy. I said, Reese, earlier, after this shit was going on with Tommy, I said, I called Reese. I said, Reese, I need you and Tommy to leave me out of your fucking bullshit. Okay. You guys are together. Whenever you fight, Tommy texts me or Tommy calls me telling me all the horrible things you say about me to him. And you call me and tell me all the horrible things Tommy says to you about me. You guys don't seem to realize that all I take away from any of this is that you guys both talk mad shit about me to each other. Like, don't you realize that that's all I take away from this? I said, I don't need the drama. I don't need the bullshit. Keep me out of it. That was before the Clearwater trip. So later, so then we had another phone call a bit, much later where I said, Reese, we haven't spoken in a while. It's because of Tommy. But I feel like there's some stuff that's probably about to go down. And in retrospect, if I was in your shoes, I would have wondered why my friend Aaron didn't call me. And I said, look, people seem to have a lot of concerns about Tommy's history and about whether he's using women in this community or scamming women or taking advantage of women. And people think he's doing that to you. And no matter how we feel about each other right now, I feel like I should do you the courtesy, if we are friends, to call you and say, this is the concern people have in the community about Tommy. And I just want you to tell me, is this news to you and you're somewhat startled by this and you want to dig into it further? Or is this old news to you and you don't give a shit because you don't believe it? And I said, and to be honest, I'd like to know, have you heard this before, but you don't believe it and that's why you don't care? Or have you heard this before and you do believe it, but you don't care? And I said, it doesn't matter what your answer is. We're just speaking as friends. And what happened in that phone call is I was attacked. I was attacked in a way, and attacked is such a loose term. I was made to feel like I was the bad guy for bringing up these concerns about Tommy. I said, Reese, I'm not here to convince you about anything. I wanted to almost warn you that there's a lot of people in this community who have information about Tommy, and they seem to think Tommy's a pretty bad guy, and they seem to be ready to go public with it. And if you and I are friends, I think I should at least let you know that and see where you stand on it exactly. I'm not trying to overstep. I'm trying to find out what your knowledge is of this and how much you care about it or don't care. Anyway, I was made the bad guy. We both started losing our temper and raising our voices, and I ended up hanging up on her. Well, after that, Reese ran around telling all of her moderators and everyone that I was a horrible, abusive person and called her screaming at her this, screaming at her that, and I'm more abusive than Tommy, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, that happened, okay? I realized there's another part that I'm missing here of the story. Let's fast forward a little bit. Let's fast forward a little bit. I think it was after, I'm losing the I don't know if this was before Reese and I did videos recently in Clearwater together or after, but it was the first time I went on Reese's channel in a long time. The first time I went on Reese's channel in a long time. She said, hey, look, I've already come clean about the Tommy stuff and sleeping with Tommy, and let's do a video together. Let's clear the air. I said, oh, thank God. I would love to clear the air. So we sit down, we're getting ready to do a video, and I go, okay, good. So Reese, I'm going to explain that we stopped doing videos together because I found out about the Clearwater thing, and I was pissed off that you lied to me about it. And she goes, no, you can't say that. You can't, no, you can't say that. And I go, you told me that you already told your audience about sleeping with Tommy. And she goes, well, yeah, I told them I started sleeping with Tommy in Kansas City. I didn't tell them I started sleeping with Tommy in Clearwater. You can't, don't tell them that. I was like, fucking shit. I said, look, the reason we're not doing videos together is because I am not going to lie to your audience just because you're lying to your audience. I said, I don't lie to my fucking audience. If I don't want to talk about something because it's no one's business, I'm not going to talk about it. But I don't make up stories and I don't fucking lie. And I didn't come on here to reinforce. I didn't know you only told the half truth. I thought you told the whole truth. Okay. And now I'm here. Now we're starting a live stream in 2 minutes. And I said, look, I'm not going to tell some bullshit version of the truth. Let's just gloss over the whole thing. And she said, okay, we'll just gloss over the whole thing. And so that's what happened. So not only did I keep people from attacking Reese, not only did I keep her fucking lie, but then I sort of kept her lie again when we finally did a video together. And so then, so you have to understand what a horrific betrayal it was when Reese starts telling everyone, I'm the fucking puppeteer, the ring master, sending everyone after Reese to deflect from my own controversies and scandals and to retaliate against her for leaving the SPTV Foundation. It was all a complete fucking lie. Okay. So then I text Reese and I said, Reese, you know perfectly well that I have nothing to do with Barb's attacks on you. You know perfectly well that Barb has been low-key attacking you for about a year, and I'm the one who has always intervened to make her stop. Barb removed herself as moderator after some videos that got posted. You resigned from the board weeks ago and have been low-key throwing me under the bus ever since, by the way. So thank you very much for that. Yeah, Reese completely lied about why she resigned from the board. With Barb removing herself as my moderator, there's literally no reason for her to keep her mouth shut and literally no way for me to intervene. Plus, Barb is attacking me too. It's hilarious that everyone's complaint is that Barb just isn't attacking me enough. For you to imply that the evidence that I'm behind Barb's attacks on you is that Barb isn't attacking me enough is bonkers. But you already know that. You already know that even when Barb was my moderator, I could still barely contain her from attacking you. Now that she's not my moderator and now that she's publicly attacking you and me, you want to say that I'm the one pulling the strings behind the scenes to make her do that? You know perfectly well that is totally false. I never got a response to that text message. I have not heard from Reese in any way, shape, or form since I texted her this on January 26th. Okay. And so the reason I wanted to tell this part of the story is because I am not here to continue some false bullshit narrative that Tommy Scoville is the problem. No, Tommy and Reese together have been the problem. And the truth has not been told. And a lot of people have been deceived and manipulated. And even someone, even Reese mentioned in a video a few days ago, I would really rather apologize to Aaron privately. What's stopping you? Nothing. Nothing. You've never even responded to the text message that I sent you or apologized for lying to everybody about my involvement in people attacking you. You knew that the easy explanation that everybody would be like, that makes sense, is Aaron's behind it because Aaron's to blame for everything. You took the easy way out. You took the low-hanging fruit. You threw me under the fucking bus when I kept all your fucking secrets. I kept all these people from attacking you. And the moment it was convenient, you threw me right under the fucking bus and rode over me and backed it up and rode over it again. And you're still fucking lying about it. And honestly, I'm just pissed off. I'm pissed off about it. So me showing everyone why I stopped doing videos with Tommy is half of the story. The rest of the story I'm telling you is why I stopped doing videos with Reese. And then Reese came down here and we shot some videos together. And I basically never heard from Reese again. The whole time Reese was here, Tommy was texting her like literally every 5 minutes. I can't believe you're doing videos with Aaron. Aaron called me a pedophile. I don't even know what I've never called Tommy a pedophile ever. I've never even implied anything like that. But anyway, that's the story, guys. That is the story. And I am tired of being, I'm happy to be used for views. I'm happy to promote channels. I'm happy to be used to help people create subscribers. I am done with anyone trying to use me for their own fucking lies. Totally done. Totally done. And now that that's out in the open, maybe the next chapter can be figuring out how to make it better. But it's not going to be because I'm afraid to say something because then this person's going to do this and this person's going to do that. No, Reese and Tommy together have been a huge fucking problem. Reese and Tommy are why I stopped doing videos with Reese and Tommy. And that is the story. Okay, let's go through some of these starred comments and we will wrap this up. Rochelle gifted 1 channel membership. Thank you so much. George Massey. Tommy made it clear to Vanessa that his interest in her was Scientology was trending. When that fell apart, Reese was his next mark. Constance June. Aaron cannot win either way. People upset that he did not call him out sooner. People upset that he called him out at all. George Massey. Tommy was always focused on the metrics. His motivation was clear from day one. And I mean, I think that's certainly true. I'm also not someone who even criticizes people for being concerned about the metrics. I think we're playing the YouTube game. I think it's totally legit to play the YouTube game as hard as possible and to win. I'm okay with being concerned about metrics. I'm totally okay with it. What you'll never see me do is insult someone for being concerned about metrics. The closest I've ever gotten to that is saying the reason Nora does so much drama videos is because it's the only videos that anybody will watch on her channel. I think that's a legitimate criticism, only because that concern about metrics has led to just constantly doing destructive videos. It's not being concerned about metrics that I have a problem with. Okay, this is Renfair. Oh, Renfair, like the Renaissance Fair. Renfair goddess. He wanted all the views for himself. Marilyn says, shut up. Rib Guy. It is the initial play in trying to make a friend of you for a future play for him. Hustler Handbook 101. Farrell Cheryl. Yes, he works people. It's full on manipulation. Kelly Copter giving big fish energy. Sandy McKenna. He'll promise to save you from the storm, then sell you an umbrella full of holes. Rochelle, what is wrong with auditors? Accountability is a good thing. Yep. Constance June, I don't like when people try to manipulate by saying I love you or use love as the reason to get what they want. Sandy McKenna, he'll warn you about sharks while sharpening his own teeth. Natalie's like, oh, let me get the popcorn. Vanessa LaRose, thank you. Good to see you, Vanessa. Marilyn Honig, I've seen him do that to Reese on screen, cutting her down while saying it's tough love, and her audience ate it up. Sick. That's when I was out. Yeah. Pirate Cash. He's supposed to be a recovery channel. His original grift. Northern Girl. I love what you're doing, but stop doing it. Oh. LMAO. It makes all the sense in the world. Danny S. I stopped watching Reese's videos when Tommy became a regular. He made me uncomfortable. Kelly Copter. Ew. The unsolicited YouTube advice is icky. It's giving vid no IQ. I love it. Sovereign Brayhan. Jealousy is a hell of a drug. Jojo. It's the hate in the voice that does it for me. It makes me so uncomfortable. You know, it's funny. When I was listening to these videos today, I was like, oh my God, these are not nearly as bad as I remember them being. And that's because I've gotten so used to listening to the most horrific shit. When I first got these voice memos from Tommy, I was genuinely shocked by their tone. Because up until that point, we had never had anything but the nicest conversations where he was blowing smoke all the way up my ass and kissing my ass in a major way. And I guess I'd have to admit that there's something very comforting about having your ass kissed that way. Like, it doesn't happen very often. Tommy's really, really, really good at it. It actually feels really good. No homo. And I realized some people could make some inferences there. I just had to throw that out there. And Tommy's actually a master love bomber. He is a master love bomber. And it worked on me. But that's the thing. It's not like I needed it to work on me. I was totally happy to do videos with him about the prison stuff. His information is why I did the videos with him. I didn't need the love bombing. But the love bombing is all I had ever received from him before. So when I got these voice memos, I was quite literally shocked. Anyway, it's been such a nightmare for the last 14, 15 months that I was listening to these again today. And I'm like, oh, these aren't bad at all. Oh my God. Okay, let's see. Kelly Copter. I'm gonna make you a star, kid, because I'm an alpha male. Dino Nuggets Legacy. Cinco fans here. Itchy Thetans. I bet there was a lot of spittle on his phone after that voicemail. Marilyn, Tommy knows what your whole audience thinks because they all go to him. Go to his channel. Aaron, the comments show how much people love him. Not Marilyn. He growls. You're fucking up. Have a great day. I love you. Lord Kiss Freak. He's just a huge con and a woman abuser. Fuck that guy always and forever. Catherine Churchill. There's a portion of the criminal class that depends on having corrupt cops around. They need to be able to get out of situations. That's a good point. Randy Lewis. C, he just has an issue with Streets. I think he's intimidated. How isn't Streets a real auditor? The type of cop watching that Streets does is not the same thing as First Amendment auditing. First Amendment auditing is a very specific thing. But again, Tommy doesn't seem to understand the difference. Kelly Copter says, Tommy, YouTube Studio has a class you can do to learn about revenue. And I thought the beat was about to drop on that bad. Lisa Pete, drug dialing. Ooh, I like that. There's drunk dialing and there's drug dialing. Aventa Sativa. Brett Tommy is good at running cons and psychological games, but you can only be under the microscope for so long before you get exposed in your multi-pronged con. It was only a matter of time. Amanda Davis, you came with the receipts and with the math. NS or N Smith, catching up to real time. Looking up information on public servants isn't doxing. Public servants have the option to request their information not be displayed online for various safety reasons. Power lies to paralyze. Here's $10 for ice cream in case you need something to cheer you up. Thank you. Marilyn, here's $10 for some key lime pie to eat your feelings over losing such a good friend like Tommy. Love you, man. Thank you, Marilyn. Julia O'Connell, I love your videos on Scientology. Thank you. Tom Cruise, cheer up, friends. Come and go, but my classic movies don't. I stopped being friends with Nicole Kidman when she went to Six Flags Australia without me. Her excuse was that I'm too short for the rides. Oh, you guys are hilarious. Venomous Karma. Oh, and he has... Oh. Oh, and he has people watching phones talking bad about him and will kick them off his Facebook page, the Discord, and the YouTube channel. Tina McBride, he was raging that you didn't have him on. Vina Sativa, Aaron, you have such a healthy sense of humor about this. It also leaves the drama on him. True. Julia O'Connell, I watch all of your content. Thank you so much, Julia. Joshua, question, after Tommy and Tony, would you consider being more careful about introducing similar characters to the SPTV community? Well, the answer is for sure. And the evidence for that is, when's the last time I even bothered to do that? So here's the thing. Well, the answer is yes, just because it seems like the obvious answer. And it is like, yes, I obviously feel like there is a need to be more selective about who I bring on the channel. But there's also a thing like, let's talk about Zero Dark Tony for a second. Even last night, Nora and Laura were talking about, Aaron's the one who introduced Zero Dark Tony to the community. This is a mystery to me. Zero Dark Tony was on YouTube long before he ever came on my channel. He was on Twitter long before he ever came on my channel. I've never even done an interview with Zero Dark Tony. I did a panel, a 4-person panel. Me, Trinity, Victoria, and Zero Dark Tony. One time. And maybe the panel was a couple hours. I did one 4-way video with Tony one time. And people want to go, Aaron introduced Tony to the community. And you go, what the fuck are you talking about? I have a big channel. I've used my channel to help grow platforms. You do not become a member of this community if and only when you appear on my channel. It's a little weird. Now, also, remember, I was doing videos with Tommy, not to make him part of the SPTV community, but because he was an ex-con and I was doing Danny Masterson videos about what Danny's experience is going to be in prison. What vetting process am I really supposed to put in place for ex-cons? Like, it's a little silly, at least in these two specific examples. And I guess the real answer here is the reason that I feel like I should be more selective about who to bring on my channel has nothing to do with Tommy Scoville or Zero Dark Tony. The reason I've decided to be more selective is because of all of the other bullshit that's been going on for the last year and a half. Nothing to do with Zero Dark Tony and Tommy Scoville. So thank you for the question. Inappropriate heifer. Thank you. It had to be done. Tommy does not scare me. I've wiped the floor with men more dangerous than Tommy. Tommy's a punk. All right. Abraham Orich. Wait, but I thought Tampa B-Man was riding hard for them for a minute. Yeah, Tampa B-Man rides hard for a lot of people for a minute. I mean, Barbara Mangano, Tampa B-Man, has turned out to be one of the most disgusting and toxic and hateful people in this community. I mean, for those of you who even know what I'm talking about, there's someone else that's been a problem in this community. Well, her name's Lindsay. And when she basically exists for the sole purpose of attacking people in this community. And when I saw Barbara, Tampa B-Man, supporting this person in her live chat, I contacted her. I was like, did I miss a fucking memo? Like, I thought we were friends. Have I pissed you off in some way? And she's like, oh no, I'm only here to support Lindsay for her recovery. I'm not here to support her for all the hateful stuff that she's doing. And I was like, okay. Well, it turns out, guys, that in December, Barbara Mangano brought Lindsay over to her giant mansion in Tampa and gave her alcohol for the first time. This is a hardcore addict. Gave her alcohol for the first time in years. This led to Lindsay going on a 3-day bender, going out to strip clubs, getting into fights, police getting called, driving drunk. And then she had her child taken away by CPS for a week because of Barbara Mangano supporting this person in their recovery. Watch out for Barbara Mangano, guys. She's a snake. She's an absolute snake. She cannot be trusted. She's not here for anyone but herself and clout chasing and trying to cozy up to people. She does a lot of harm and a lot of destruction. You know, imagine giving an alcoholic alcohol when you said you were here to support her in her recovery. It's literal madness. Okay, Marilyn, actually, the Lord sent Nora as an angel to tell Reese that you orchestrated that. God also told Reese that she is in the right. Yes. I mean, I guess if one good thing did come from all of that, it did lead to Reese resigning from the board so that none of us really had to be responsible for, her lies anymore. So there you go. Eat more pizza now. David, I'm so glad that I was ignorant of all of that drama. Yes. I mean, I know people like to say I'm all about the drama, but guys, I kept my mouth shut about all of this until now. I mean, it's only now that everyone else is talking about it that I'm like, okay, I'll show my cards as well. Up Mayo, any bets on whether she recorded Aaron's call? That's a good point. That's a good point. I feel like if she did record it, I would have already heard about it by now. So I don't think that she did, but I'm pretty naive about those things. Cheryl says it's all Aaron's fault anyway, isn't it? Marilyn says Reese makes up stories as she goes along and forgets her lies and then lies more, and her audience believes every word. You can cut the cognitive dissonance with a knife. Disagree, and you are the bad guy. Yes. And guys, I mean, it's not even my intention to be like, this is not a Reese dissing session, but I would be dishonest, just like I went on Reese's channel and I said, I'm not here to lie to your fucking audience, okay? We're either going to talk about it not at all, or we're going to talk about the whole truth. Your choice. I'm not going to sit here and explain why I stopped doing videos with Tommy without explaining that Tommy isn't the reason I stopped doing videos with Reese. Okay. Dave Wheelhauer. It was obvious they were together. I was done with both of them a long time ago. She was still married, spending her husband's money, I guess, and bragging about it while talking to Tommy. Yes. Yes. USB drive number 2. If ZDT got those views, maybe he could make bail. Break interlude, public service announcement, not drama. Yeah, and that's true. Guys, that's what we got. We are going to have an extra special, awesome, long protest in downtown Clearwater tonight. Tune into my channel. Should be about 4 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have an absolute blast. Thank you all for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.